Hello and welcome back, YouTube. We're back here doing another nerd report, and the information that we have for today is going to be beneficial to some very happy US Cellular customers. Hopefully, you might end up liking this. Maybe you want to go ahead and start jumping ship, but we're going to talk about it. Um, Please subscribe to the channel, hit like on the video, and also stay for the story. So, the news is dropped. It's finally official. US Cellular gets a brand new name once the T-Mobile deal closes August 1st. So depending on when you see this video, August 1st of this year, the deal is going to be closed. For me, that's what's that, in a couple days. I think that's in a couple days. But this is great news. I think this is good news. The reason why I think this is good news is because, number one, this has been well over past due time. Um, I'm from Eastern North Carolina, and that's primarily where US Cellular set up shop at. And when the Sprint and T-Mobile merger happened, T-Mobile went from no service to decent service because it when it acquired Sprint, that's how you want to look at it. A lot of people say T-Mobile gobbled up Sprint, but Sprint was already dying. So when T-Mobile and Sprint merged, T-Mobile's presence in Eastern North Carolina became into existence. US Cellular was still there. I have videos of me being back at home, and I can link some of the videos in the description below if you want to take a look and see what the service looked like for US Cellular and all the rest of the other carriers in the same small town that I'm from. Now, with that being said, the service was decent. You could tell that they made some improvements. You could tell that T-Mobile really went out of its way to try to get a foothold in that side of town. I could only call it for what it was for the rest of the nation without going and testing the network myself. But you could tell that they were improving. But US Cellular, their only advantage was where they had service, they had decent service. They didn't have a lot of spectrum to be able to throw at the problem, but they did have service. So a lot of people still stick with them because they're a regional carrier. Now that T-Mobile has, quote unquote, gobbled up US Cellular's business model, because basically in this transaction, the US Cellular company is no more. They are going to change their name and become, I think, it's called Array. Yeah, here it is. Array Digital Infrastructure Inc. And pretty much they're getting out of the whole cellular game to direct to consumer, and only going to be dealing with doing towers. So all the cell towers that you see that's in the neighborhoods, that if you're a US Cellular customer, and more than likely you probably were using those towers to communicate, they're only going to be doing cell towers, and T-Mobile and AT&T and Verizon are going to be probably end up co-locating on these towers. It's going to be more of a lucrative program for them. You know, that's one of the reasons why they're getting out of the whole retail side of the game. Give that retail side over to T-Mobile. Go ahead and, you know, make the competition even sweeter. More better competition means better prices for all of us. I was just talking to a friend of mine. We were talking about how, like, now Verizon is giving better deals. Who knew that competition can turn a company around? That's just amazing to me. But it still means that you still have to build in rural America. So you got T-Satellite, and then now they might have a better rural presence. I'll probably end up having to go back home after the merger finishes, see what the US Cellular, customers are experiencing. But It's very good to see. Um, with this transaction, they end up getting, what's this right here? They get the 600 megahertz spectrum that US Cellular has. That means that T-Mobile's reach is going to be a whole lot better in rural America with that spectrum. Not only just the spectrum subset, but also the more capacity that you end up having. So in terms of, for you to think about it, is Verizon had band 13, which was 700, but it's only like 10 megahertz chunk. If when this goes through, T-Mobile can end up having almost 30 megahertz in certain places. We're talking about a 3 times X increase in capacity on just low band alone, which gives them more capacity to be able to hold on to more customers and have a longer reach, which can outshine a lot of their competitors, which aka AT&T and Verizon. So less towers you have to, put up. You can almost take they can almost take their time. All they got to do is just get their spectrum up, which is crazy. But they get the 700 megahertz block that they're sitting on, more PCS, more AWS, 2.5 and 24 gigahertz millimeter wave. So let's see if we can pull this and highlight that. But that's pretty much the gist of the deal. They're acquiring their customers. So if you're a US Cellular customer, welcome to the Magenta family. Uh, if you don't want to be Magenta, this is your time to jump ship. You might be able to get a good deal on some phones. Verizon's having good phone deals. AT&T is probably having some good phone deals right now in rural America. So if you don't want to be part of the transition, or do you want to wait until the transition is completely over, and wait and see if your service gets better, try that out too. So, but either way, what the transition is going to end up happening, I think a lot of people are being moved over to eSIM if you upgrading to new phones anyway. So more than likely, they'll just update the information through the eSIM, and the towers are probably going to get updated, reflecting T-Mobile spectrum and all that. All the radios will start getting upgraded, but they'll transfer you over to the T-Mobile side of their network, and US Cellular side is probably going to just be completely demolished. It's not. I don't think they have to. They're acquiring the radios or anything. They're just acquiring the customers and the spectrum. They're not acquiring hardware. The towers still belong to the old company, which is going to be changing their name to Array Digital Infrastructure. And then if you're a type of person who follows the stock, they're changing their stock name on the New York Stock Exchange. So I don't really get into the whole stock evaluation stuff, but they're going to change their name on the New York Stock Exchange. So they're getting out of the whole customer service business altogether. They're dealing directly with OEMs like, hey, Verizon, you are a customer now. T-Mobile, you are a customer now. That's who they're going to be dealing with. AT&T, you are a customer. That's who they're going to be dealing with. No more customers, no more customer services directly with consumers. But if this is going to be affecting you, leave a comment below in the comment section. Tell me if you're going to think about staying for a little bit. Are you planning on jumping ship? Are you confused about what's the process is going to happen? I don't think they're going to touch your bill. From what they've been saying, for the most part, there's no bill change that's on the horizon for anybody. They're just going to just leave you as is. And if you decide to want to migrate a lot of your stuff over to Magenta, then they're going to leave that option up for you. That's kind of what I've heard. I know that I'm going to be talking to my family per se to get them to fully migrate over. get better deals. My father is prior military. That will give him Magenta Military, or the new services plus military, which will drop the bill down for them even more. That's what I'm looking like. That's one of the reasons why I am excited about this for my family per se. So thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And y'all have a very good one.